PSA grading at $50 a card? Say what now? Hello, sports card collectors, investors, all the collectibles friends out there in the universe. We do have a teeny tiny little breaking news event. Won't be a long video. I'm not going to draw it out with 50,000 thoughts on what I think of it because I don't think that really makes a whole lot of sense. I'm just going to throw out there what I saw in the Twitter universe today, and it is that PSA, the leading grader, kind of threw out as a little fun little thingy-mabobber, threw out that their Collectors Club members can get in line in a queue at noon Eastern, which is already passed. Sorry about that if you're just hearing about this. But essentially having the opportunity at a $50 sub, $50 grading sub. They're obviously limiting this to some degree, as they just have a queue. I think this is just supposed to be kind of a special event. Thank you to, longtime Collectors Club members. Those memberships have not been sold for an extended period of time. So I think these are kind of the OGs, some of the longtime grading folks that have had it for, a while. Here's an opportunity to jump in and get a $50 grade. One thing that I was trying to see is how many cards you can submit. I assume that there is a limit on it. I assume you can't have 500 cards. It's probably capped. The whole thing is probably capped, but I'm talking about for each person that gets through the queue, how many cards. Maybe it's 1, maybe it's 5, and maybe I just missed it on the announcement. One takeaway I did have is, does this kind of foreshadow a $50 price point at some time down the road? I mean, Nat Turner has said pretty much over and over again that he does want to get price points to a lower point, back to where they have been. I've heard him say that as well. And so $50 is not exactly where they were, but I think that many of us can agree that if there was a $50 price point that kind of, not guaranteeing, but giving kind of a 2 to 3 month turnaround. And that's what they have here, where their goal is really to have kind of that top out at 3 months on the turnaround time while they still kind of get through the backlog. But at $50 a card with a three month turnaround time, I think PSA would get absolutely slaughtered as far as just submissions. I think it would be a lot of submissions coming their way. I think $50 is kind of that price point. It's still too high for set collectors that are trying to, finish sets on the registry. In my opinion, I don't know if people are going to grade commons at $50 unless it's like their last one to complete the set. But at that $50 price point is kind of it's like getting low enough to where I think that includes a lot of cards up to $1,000 value. You could argue that it does kind of open the door, whereas $100 is still a little rich. $50 is kind of to the point where you're like, okay, maybe I can make some things work with this. Anyway, guys, I'm not going to drag this on out. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Did you get in the queue? Did you get any of these special Collectors Club submissions in? I'd like to hear your thoughts. Are we headed in the right direction here, or is just kind of like a one-time holiday thing and they're still going to be working on the backlog for the next 17 years? Let me know your thoughts. Stay healthy, stay awesome. I'll talk to you later.